Today, I would like to show you how actual web application really implemented in the real time. The agenda is implemented. So far, we understood how it works. And now we have to understand a lot of small keywords. For example, what is a request? What is a response? What is the point of 1 minute, 1 minute? What is the point of HTTP? What is params? What are query params? What are search strings? There are so many small points are there. So they are all supposed to be understood and properly defined. Okay. So let us see most of them before going to our actual course. So now I would like to show you that entire architecture. Let us see that here. So we have a lot of web applications in the real time, right? What are the web applications we have? Very good. That is Amazon, Flipkart, and then Book My Show, Make My Trip, Gmail, a few more, Redbus, IRCTC. Anything more? These are all different web applications, right? Okay, fine. Fundamentally, what do? They show us some information. They will give us a way to interact with the data. Okay. So user is actually interacting with the web application. Right? So user is interacting with the web application means it is interacting not only with the browser, it is actually interacting with the database. Suppose you have filled a form and you have submitted that form. So eventually this entire form goes to the server. That is database server. It goes completely all the way to the server. So how is it going to happen? So when you fill a form and you submit the data, that has to be taken by the server application, server code, and the server code will eventually insert that data into the database. So when you open the Gmail, imagine there you are not giving any input over there, but you are able to see the data. So how the data is actually implemented. So here, who are the stakeholders? Okay, these keywords are too high, but that is what you need. Okay, who are the stakeholders? Okay, in computer science, we have a beautiful subject called object oriented analysis and design. In that, we have the word called actors. Who are the actual actors? So here, the actual actors are browser, because eventually this is where we are searching for the website, interacting with the web application. And for example, you are able to open the Gmail in your computer. That doesn't mean all the emails are there stored in your computer. We are able to open the Gmail, but do you think all the mails are there in your computer? No. Where they are? They must be in one big database. The bigger problem is browser can't send the request directly to the database. Databases will not directly say yes or no or data to the browser. There will be some application and we call it as web app. So your browser will send the request to the web app, and this web app will read the request in a particular program. In fact, that program is called as web application, one or multiple programs, whatever it means. So we are sending the request to web app, especially a particular program. So this program will send the request to the database. This program will send the request. For example, you try to send Gmail. For example, here I said Gmail. So Praveen Gubbala is sending the request to the web app as request. So in that request, my email ID will go. So when you open your browser and you are trying to open the Gmail, so you are also sending the request to the same program. My dear friends, please observe that is the same program. When you are opening Gmail or I am opening Gmail, both are sending the request to the same web application program, not different programs. So this program will receive the request. In that request, your ID will be there. Maybe it is your email ID or some token or something like that. Based on that token, this web application program sends the request to the database. Database gives you that data. And we call it as query. We have to send the query. We have to query from the web application to the database. What the database gives you? Data. It can give you only data, nothing else. So this web application takes that data and prepare the UI. And that UI will be in the HTML. So that HTML, CSS, JS plus data will be sent to the browser. So the browser takes the HTML, CSS, JavaScript and data. It will show the final page or output or UI. This is what happens. Is that clear? Right. Whatever I said, this is called as monolithic. I am not discussing now or today about the single page application. Tomorrow I am going to discuss about how single page application works. Today my topic is how monolithic applications work. So first of all, you have to understand that entire flow. Once you are comfortable, then we have to go to the next point. Clear? Yes, we are going to do this. So first of all, we have to create this web application. But to create this web application, I have a lot of alternatives. The same web application can be created in so many languages. If you are comfortable with C, you can do it. Yes, plain C, C++, yes, we need a lot of code for that. We can do it, but it is very hard. Even I tried only once in my entire 22 years career. That too only hello world program. It was so tough. And then if you are not comfortable here, you can go with PHP. Have you ever heard about this language? PHP, very easy, very easy process, PHP. In that technology also you can do it. Or else if you are comfortable with Java or you can say JSPs, you can do it. Or else ASP.NET. This is C#. In this language also you can do it. And your favorite, I don't know why it became favorite to you all. What is that? Python. Even you can use Python. But pure Python can't do all these things. We need Django. This is also possible. Have you ever heard about a beautiful language name called Ruby? And exactly. Ruby. And for that also, Ruby is also poor language. It can't do everything. You need Rails. You need Rails. There is a framework called Ruby on Rails. We call it as Ruby on Rails. That is another way. But these are all takes a lot of time to create a basic web application. Right now, in the course, right now, if you really want to have the Java or Python, that is a different case. But right now, in the first full stack course, we are not doing any of these things. We are going with the language name called JavaScript on NodeJS. What is the language? What is the platform you go for creating web applications? NodeJS. Yes, NodeJS can do everything, but unfortunately, it will also take a lot of time. Instead of that, I mean, it is pure Node.js. Instead of that, what we are doing is we are following Express JS. This is just an extension of Node.js. What is this Express? Extension. That means it is like a package. This Express.js package will allow us to create web applications in no time. That means it is so fast. It is so fast. Believe me, most of the companies, just like LinkedIn, because they're all, I know fundamentally, LinkedIn, Quora, I mean, I hope you know these all, right? Some level of GitHub. What are the famous websites I'm thinking of? I mean, web applications which are completely built on this. GitHub, Quora, LinkedIn, I know them. Facebook is on PHP. Okay. I think Flipkart, I think. Okay. These are all made up of Express. Whatever the first request goes, that will directly go to Express. Are you getting it? Why? What is the reason? The name itself suggests that Express.js is the fastest way to implement the web application. So eventually what the web application should do in the larger context, can you see what exactly that web application is doing in this entire monolithic architecture? మీరు చెప్పగలిగితే బాగుంటుంది. ఐ మీన్ యు నీడ్ స్పీకింగ్. ట్రై చేస్తా ఉండు. చెప్పు. వెబ్ అప్లికేషన్ ఏం చేస్తుంది అక్కడ? పంపుతుందని చెప్పు. But very nice, very good answer. First point, not first point, it is actually second point. He completed the second point. That second point is sending the request to the web database and getting the data from the database and sending that data HTML, CSS to the browser. But before that, also it is doing one part. That is, it is accepting the requests. Web application is there first to accept the browser requests. First point is clear. Angel first, it should accept the requests. To accept the request, we need something. For example, I'll tell you. My bigger strength of students is online. I will take from the morning to evening. Most of the students come in online. But most of the students also wants to come offline also. So first of all, do I need to have an office or not? Yes or no? Why should I have an office? If you don't have an office, where do you come? And where do you ask? You need a place, right? So for that, you need an address. To launch your application, you need a server. Are you getting me? Indeed, for the web application, you need a server. Without server, where do you send the request? You need an address, right? So first we set up this web application on top of a server. We write the web application, but that application will run on a server, on a particular IP address and on a particular port number. On a particular IP address and a particular port number. So IP address is like this particular floor. This is second floor. And we have classes on cloud, testing, and full stack. So the cloud is running on this particular room. So where should they go? The cloud people should go to that room. Full stack people should come to this room. Isn't it? This is how you have to understand. The same way, server is a bigger thing. In the same server, we can run multiple applications. Each application will run on different port number. Each application runs on different port number. Yeah. For example, Book My Show and Make My Trip, both are from the same server. Imagine, yes, you may create it. But how these two applications are separated? By using the port number. Book My Show will get one port number and Make My Trip will get another port number. Of course, port number is not that easy to remember. The combination of IP address and port number is not easy to remember. So people invented a new concept called DNS, Domain Name Service System Server, whatever it may be, but domain name server. So they will maintain the domain names and the computer IP address and the port numbers. So we ask domain name server, Book My Show. So domain name server will give you the IP address. And for that IP address, actually your browser will send once again the request. Okay, this is very internal concepts of the computer networks and web application. Maybe not necessary right now. Somehow we are sending the request to web application, but this web application should run on the server. Is that clear? And from where we are sending the request? From browser. Where the request goes to? Web application. What is the first role of web application? Accepting the requests. Then first role of web applications is accepting requests. What is the second role of the web application? Reading. So it has to read the request, right? In the request, what is the IP address, what is the email ID or whatever the ID you have given, that is important. Reading the request. And from reading it, it has to pick up what exactly the browser is asking for. I am asking for hit movie. I am asking for single movie. I am asking for Jack movie. Whatever the movie, I am asking for Nani information. So what exactly the user is asking for? So what is that process called? Reading of request. In fact, you please make it as receiving request, accepting request, all this, right? Next. After reading the request, after processing the request, what I should do? Get the data from database. Right? And fourth job is receive the data from database. Sir, are you Sure, you need to speak such a minute level. Yes, my dear friends. Until and unless you really differentiate and step by step, you are unable to identify it, you can't write the code by your own. Getting the data, receiving the data, and then create page. That means HTML, CSS, JS data for data. That means when you ask for Nani, the web application will get the Nani information and it will create the complete HTML page for Nani information. If you click on Rashmika Mandana, the request goes to the server. I mean to say web application. Web application now try to get the data of Rashmika Mandana and prepare the same page. Would you agree with me? So when I click on Nani, I got this page. So now, where is Rashmika? Okay. Then I click on Samantha. We got the same page. Page in the sense the structure is same. So this preparation would be done by that particular entire page creation will be done by the web application. And then finally it will send. This part is also so important. Send the response. You prepared it. If you don't send it, what is the use of it? Is that clear? How to do this entire process. So we should have a database. We should have a web application and we should have a browser. Do we have browser? Why not, sir? We have browser here. Yes or no? Now, what is the necessary things? Creating the web application. So for that, we need the setup. Yes or no? Yes. So first we are going and creating the setup for this entire part. Web application. Then we will take care of database. And then I will show you how the connection will happen and all. First of all, we will be making the web application ready. Shoot. Ready? Chalo. So here I am opening my Visual Studio Code. I am opening a folder, new folder with RB50 is already there, right? Okay. So RB50 web app. This is the application what I am creating. Okay, create and open. It's completely a plain folder. It doesn't have any code at all. What I'm supposed to do? First of all, let us create a simple file that is called as server.js. Of course, in fact, some people will write it as app.js. Please keep that as app.js. So this is the application. Whatever you are able to see, this is the application. Now the next important thing is we have Node.js in our computer, but we don't have Express in our computer. What we should do, we have to add that Express to our application. ExpressJS, that's a package. Yes or no? We have Node.js. Yes, yesterday we have installed the Node.js. But the problem is ExpressJS is not there. So first I have to configure this entire application with ExpressJS. NPM is the package manager. That means this is the place from where you can get packages. You got it? Yes. Okay. Relax and tell me. Do you guys play games? Yen game aadtava, Ashok? Acha. I'm not thinking about the physical games, mobile games. Very nice. Excellent. PUBG. Other than that, Ludo. Okay, let us see the Ludo. How do you get the Ludo in your mobile phone? That is called Play Store. There is a place where you can get the games. Yes or no? The same way, there is a place called NPM from where you can get the packages. What is the name of that kind of Play Store? Yeah. NPM, Node Package Manager. You can see the website also, npmjs.com. This is the website. So which package you are looking for? ExpressJS. So that it gives you one minute. ExpressJS. Okay. I'm not getting the right point. ExpressJS. Relax. We have a separate website for that, expressjs.com. But how this is npm install express. Perfect. It is supposed to give me that express. See this. Express. When I click on it, you can see how ExpressJS is being used in different places. Can you see the number of weekly downloads of this? Per week, how many people are downloading this ExpressJS? Wow. That means you just imagine the capacity of ExpressJS. Per week, 3 lakh users are downloading this. That means how much popular package is this? Could you understand my point? None of the other packages are being downloaded that many. Just for your understanding, ReactJS. So, okay, relax. So how many people are downloading? React? No. That will be much higher. No. 1 crore. 15 crores. Hello.
15 crores, sir.
Anyways, it is showing some different, but this is also around 3 crores. Weekly downloads, that may be yearly or something like that. React. So these are all NPM packages. Even ReactJS comes as an NPM package. The same way, ExpressJS complete library comes as package. So for that, first of all, we have to install that package in our local folder. We are creating a web application, right? For that, these all things are necessary. NPM install express. NPM I means install. So it created a package.json. It created some node modules. I am pretty much interested to speak about all these things. but you will be deviated. First, we are creating web application. For that, we need ExpressJS. I have installed it. In the course, I will teach you every bloody step of this. First, what we are trying to understand now, how it actually works. So here in the app.js, what I have to do? I have to create the web application, right? And that web application should be running on a server. Could you follow this point? I have to create a web application and that should be running on a server. So for that, already packages are installed. Now I am creating it. So for that, we have to import the Express package. And then we have to create an app. And then this app should be running on one server. So what I have done here, I have created an application, web application, and I am running it on 3400 port number in my computer, locally. Hello. Yes. What I have done, the 2 steps, created the server, created the application, and I am running on it. So now if I save it, and if I start the application, I am starting like nodemon, okay, app.js. What does it do is, it will start a server which is running on 3400 and it is listening. That means whatever the request comes, it is ready to accept. Whatever the request comes, what does it do? It ready to accept. So shall we send the request? Yes, where should I send the request and from where we should send the request? Browser. So from browser, we have to send the request. That is what the diagram we have written. From browser, we have to first send the request to the app. Sorry. So in the same system, that means localhost : 3400. Because on that port number on my computer, my application is running. When I click on enter, what is the response we got? Does my application received the request or not? Yeah, no worries. నాకు తెలియట్లేదు, రిక్వెస్ట్ రిసీవ్ అయిందా లేదా నాకు అర్థం కావట్లేదు అని అనిపించింది అనుకో, మీరు చెప్పండి. అవుట్పుట్ కనిపించట్లేదు, యాక్చువల్ కనపడుతుంది. ఇట్ ఈస్ సేయింగ్ ద సర్వర్ ఈజ్ నాట్ ఫౌండ్ అని కానీ, పేజ్ నాట్ ఫౌండ్ అని, దీస్ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ ఆన్సర్స్ ఆర్ నాట్ గివెన్ బై ద సర్వర్. సర్వర్ ఈస్ సేయింగ్ దట్ I can't get this. Suppose if the server is not running, try to resend the request. What it is saying? This site can't be reached. Localhost refused to connect. There is no such server at all. Now I am restarting the server. Now you see, if I send the request, now I am able to get the response. It is not saying like the server itself not there. It is there. But whatever the request you have sent, I don't know how to process it. So now I will write an endpoint. This is also called route. Okay, these all terms will be explained very detailed in the course. Here, whatever for every request, I have to maintain a separate function or a program or some function to take the request and send the response. So here I am preparing. When I get the default request, when I said localhost : 3400, that means it is requesting /. That is why we got the error also, cannot get the /. So when the request comes for the /, this function comes into the picture. So this function will be executed when this request comes. This is how server application will take care of the request. So when you send localhost :3400 enter, that request is going to this place. Okay. Here, this particular place received the request. For example, let me show you that console.log of request received. See this carefully. As soon as I send the request again, what is the server able to identify? Request received. And at the same time, carefully observe this loader. Can you concentrate on this loader? Do you? What it is doing? It is keep on waiting. In fact, not loading. We sent the request and server also received the request, but server should send the response also, na? Yes or no? It's not only taking time, it is not even sending the response. So my browser is waiting when the server will send the response. So what this Express does is, whatever the request we have received, that entire request will be grouped together and form an object, and that object will be placed in the REQ. So the request will be there in the REQ. And whatever the functions you need to send the response, చాలా ఫోకస్ చేయకపోతే కుదరదు. ప్రతి చిన్న పాయింట్ చెప్తున్నా. ఐఎమ్ టీచింగ్ యూ ఎవ్రీ స్మాల్ పాయింట్, ఈవెన్ ఆన్ టుడే. So focus on that. For the whole request will be coming into request object, and we call it as request object. What it is there for? To receive the request. In fact, this entire route received the request, but that request object will be passed over here. What do we have in the RES object? Response object. What do we have in the response object? Methods, functions to send the response. So now you can see, I will use the response object with the send method. Hi, how are you? Now you see this. Localhost :3400 and enter. What happened, my dear friends?
We got a response.
What we
got a response for our request.
Perfect. So here my application, my web application, ready to accept the request and ready to send the response. How is this? In fact, beautiful. First, if you are able to understand this, you can actually work on any technology. The bigger problem with most of the people is they don't know what is request and what is response. That is the bigger crime most of the people are doing. They are learning Django, they are learning Spring Boot, they are learning .NET Core, they are learning so many things, but they are missing this point as what is request and what is response. We are sending a URL from the browser is called as request. The URL which we are sending from the browser is called request. The data which is coming, data or page or code coming from the server to the browser is called response. Ready? Right. So here, now I want to have 3400/ABC and enter. We got the response as cannot get /ABC. So what I am supposed to do here? I have to create app.get of /ABC. When we receive the request for /ABC, this function should be called. And Express will actually pass the request object to this function and response object to this function. In the request object, what do we have? This part. That is /abc, all the details, which browser, what is the date and time it sent, from which IP address we have received, what is the protocol they are using, what are the parameters they are passing. All this information will be there in request object. What is there in the RES object? The functions which are responsible for sending the response. So here again, I am writing the code like res dot send of Edupoly. So now when I click on this, you got this Edupoly. Okay. So if I have a request for XYZ, what is the response I got right now? I can't get any XYZ. So what I'm supposed to do here?
We have to get the app.
We have to create a separate route for /XYZ. Okay. Sir, how many such kind of requests we can create? How many such kind of different routes we can create? Yes, there will be so many routes, but it is not like that. It will be having a meaning and proper approach to solve that. Let us see all those things. Wait a minute. I need to show you so many things. Wait a minute. Right. Now you understood what is request. Right?
Yes.
And what else you understood? How to send the response. So I would like to send the response in a better way. What do you mean by better way? I can put this entire response in a H1. So now when I send a request for /, I got the response as, that is what HTML. What we have received, we have not just received hi, how are you? We have received in HTML. Okay, right. So now if I want to request for ABC, I just got Edupoly as just a normal text. Is it possible to get the response in italics?
Yes.
That means in HTML fashion. Yes, put this Edupoly in I. So now when I send a request for ABC, now the response is coming as a HTML. So what is my web application doing? It is accepting the request and it is sending the HTML. It is accepting the request and it is sending the HTML. Okay. Can I send CSS also? Yes. But how much code you can write it in this to? Try to understand the problem. Yes, you can put everything. First of all, in my engineering days, I created a web application in Java. There is a concept called servlet. Very old, very, very old. I don't know the concept of JSP. Before my professor introduced me to the JSP, I started, of course, they did not even discuss everything, but I started writing on servlets. So I wrote big HTML page inside the servlet. And I have shown that entire work to my professor. He really appreciated me. Praveen, very good. But unfortunately, we don't do like this. We have to create a separate page called JSP. That JSP page will be sent. Oh, thank you, sir. But that is a curiosity. Gave me good command over this. Understood? Right. Shall we? So You can't write everything in this way. So what we will do is, again, Express will help us. Whatever the code, whatever the default HTML, that means static files are there. Whatever the static files are there, we'll put it in a folder called public. In that public folder, we can write it home.html. I am creating a HTML page. So here, just I'm using AI for that. Don't. Whatever it may be. It is having CSS. All these things will be there, right? Okay, the home page is ready. Accept. Okay, now let's go to the next point. So eventually request is coming to this. When I go get the request to the slash get slash, I have to respond that particular page. How can I do that? How can I do that? Yes, we have a solution. I will somehow I have entered into the detailing, but can I complete it quickly? Because we need to go for bigger work. So we will do something like static. Wherever the static files are there, we have to configure app dot use of express dot static of underscore underscore. What is dir name? All these things you will see it in the course. Slash public. So whenever I get this request for slash, acha, So here, let us see this. I would like to call it as 3400 slash home.html. Can you see here? What did I receive? Directly the page. Whatever pages we have in the public folder, they will be directly served now. You need not to write a separate route for that. Hello. You need not to write a separate route for that. All the pages can be happily served. All the pages are happily served. All the pages are happily served. If the error in the public folder. Clear? Excellent. Now I would like to create something called add student dot html. So what is the purpose of this add student? This particular add student HTML file should give me the H form. In that form, whatever the data I will enter, that data is supposed to be stored in the database. That is the job, right? So here I am creating a form somehow. So I am not taking the help of AI. HTML file. In this, I am going to create a form. Action is equal to slash add student details with this input type. So what are HTML? If you don't know, you are already attending the classes. Please let me know. Name is equal to first name break last name and button button. Add student to DB. Okay. So now I want this page for entering the data, right? So here what I am supposed to give as a request, add student dot html. I got the form here. So here I will enter Ashok Chakravarti. And when I click on add student, When I click on add student, what will happen? You please clearly observe that. When I click on add student, the student details are being sent to the server. Yes or no? After question mark, you have form, first name Ashok, last name Chakravarti. Okay, I have to use a different method. I should not show the details in the URL. There are so many rules and regulations, the best practices, industry standards. Okay, so they are all different. But first of all, you try to understand request, response, and application. Now, along with the request, I am also sending some data. That is dynamic data. Now I am sending only, I am sending Ashok and Chakravarti. So tomorrow, our Karthik Reddy, if I click on add student to the database, dynamically I'm sending different data. Do you agree with this? Different data I am going to send. Okay. So when I send it, you can see something like this. What happened here? Cannot get. So why we are sending this data? First of all, let us have the clarity on that.
So we add students. So we're trying to add student like logging to the webpage.
Okay, we are not logging in. Insert JL. We are sending this data to insert the data into database. But this request goes to web application. Is that request is going to web application or not? It is coming here. Isn't it? So here what I am supposed to write? Here I had to create app.get of / add student details, comma, function request response. So now when I, okay, res dot send, please wait, I am developing. So now if I send the student details, it is saying that please wait, I am developing. That means what? This particular route took the request and send the response, but it is not yet inserted into the database. In the database, it is yet to insert the data into the database. It is just inserted the data, it is just received the data and it sent Agra Vai, please wait. Yes, response is there. But how to receive that data? Whatever I am sending it in the URL. You got the question, right? It receives the request, but where is the data? Database ki link chese mundu. Before linking to the database, first of all, I have to collect that data. Na? I have to collect the data. How do you first collect the data? Then I will send it to database. చేయాలి అని అంటే ముందు కలెక్ట్ చేయాలి అంటున్నా. From the in the request that the data is there. First of all, I will show you how the request will be. Here, console.log of request. See here. I am submitting. Boom. This is the request object. How much big the request object is. Can you see this? Is it too big or not? It is too long, man. Here you have the data. In the URL, we have the date. So instead of printing the complete request object, I want to print request.url. So now when you submit, you get only the URL. I mean, I had to filter out. I want only this part, na? So how to pull this particular details? I don't want the complete URL. What I really want? First name and last name. That is the only thing I want. So from that, I had to filter out. For this, we have another package called where URL is equal to require URL. Don't worry. To handle the URLs, Node.js is giving you separate package that is available. That is a default package. That is not external package, not third-party package, not like Express. That is already there. So with this URL, I mean to say URL is the name of the package. So now where x is equal to URL dot resolve of request.url. And I want to console that x. So now when I send the data again, here this time I would like to go with Satish Garu. Okay. Satish G add student. So here URL must be of type string. Is it not a string? Received undefined. Oh my God. Oh, okay. Okay. Undefined. Why that undefined is showing up? Request.url. Yeah, I'll tell you the reason. The reason is one second. Okay. Actually, we have the answer now. Don't worry about it. In the Chrome, especially from the Chrome, even for one request, there will be two requests sent to the server. One is for fav icon, something for here. See this place. This is an internal issue. Even EX, what is this called? Fav icon. For this also, browser sends the request. Okay. So for fav icon, there is no data after slash. So it is treating as undefined. No worries. Let us use this parse for request.url. In that, can you see something here? There is something called query. Hello, there is something called query. So now, instead of request.url, I would like to say request.query. Now you can understand this point. Whatever the data is that is available under request.query. So you actually don't need even the URL. I just used it only for the sake of showing the query. So whatever the data we are sending after question mark, this is what called query params. So how to receive this data in the backend? That is directly available in the request object. మనకి రిక్వెస్ట్ వస్తుంది కదా, రిక్వెస్ట్ లో ఏవైతే పారామ్స్ క్వెరీ పంపిస్తున్నావో అది కూడా క్వెరీ అనే ప్రాపర్టీలో ఉంటుంది. ద ప్రాపర్టీ విల్ హోల్డ్ ఆల్ ద డేటా. విచ్ డేటా? రిక్వెస్టెడ్ క్వెరీ డేటా. So now did I get the query? Did I get the data or not? Here it is. What I'm supposed to do this data with the data?
Send it to database.
Perfect. We got the data and now this data should be stored in the database. Where is the database?
Database.
Yeah, the database is right. That is completely a total different application and different server. That is totally a different application and different server. No doubt at all. Okay. I have that. I would like to show you that first. Here I am using MongoDB. So this is a different server altogether. Here here is my database. In this database, I have lot of data. Can you see this data? So here I have to store the data. You got the point? Clear? Yes. For that, what I am supposed to do? We have to establish a database connectivity. I repeat, we have to establish a database connectivity. So I want to do it tomorrow, not today. What I have discussed today, only up to this. What is a web application?
How do we send the request?
How do we send? Very good. How do we send the request?
And
How do we receive the request in the web app? And how do we send the response? How do we receive the request with? How do we send the request with along with params, query params, along with the query params, right? How to receive that in the application side. So just don't forget to implement by today itself. I will be forwarding the video to you. First of all, just check out whether you have the Node.js in your computer or not. Then ensure you have created a folder and install the ExpressJS and create an app file. In that app file, create a Express app and then create a simple route. Yes, start doing it. I will upload and I will forward to you. You can check that in my drive. I am looking only the people who are really interested and really they want to do something today. Okay. Chalo, that's it for today. Inform your friends to understand the in-depth analysis of this. You have seen the 3 classes of what I am teaching, what level I am teaching. Okay. So ready with that. We are starting JavaScript from Monday straight away. Okay. So tomorrow also I will explain you the complete connectivity part because it will be too much if I talk today. I will completely discuss about the connectivity, where the data stores. There are 2-3 more things. We need a Mongoose directly. This web application don't deal with the database. We need one more layer between. That is called as ODM. We call it as ODM. Yeah, I am available, Satish. Please go ahead.
Sir, I have few things I need to discuss with you, sir.
Go ahead.
Sir, actually, I'm working person. So I'm looking for main into the JavaScript and React, sir. Purely front end I'm working.
Mm.
There is a problem with my coding, sir. I'm not good at in JavaScript. So that's the reason I joined, sir. So this like this course is the start with JavaScript only, right, sir?
100%. It will be starting completely from the JavaScript from zero level.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
You are going to see, for example, his problem is going to be very tough because how much experience you have, Satish?
Sir, I'm working around 1.5 years, sir.
So around 2 years, at least he should keep 2 years experience to get picked by Naukri. Even after selecting your resume, first of all, getting the resume shortlisted is a biggest problem. After selection of the resume, you are going to face a lot of questions in JavaScript, the depth of the JavaScript. For example, one simple example, do you eat dosa?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So you should know what is the amount of calories you will get after eating dosa and how much time it will be there for fermentation. What is fermentation process? How to reduce the fermentation after certain time? What I can add into the dosa? What are the things better with the dosa? And what are these grains are called? This is all necessary for you. Sir, I
Yes.
know only how to eat the dosa. That is the problem. Don't learn the web application development or whatever it may be from the third party side. You have to know in-depth knowledge of this. For example, JavaScript. When you declare a variable, what will happen? How much memory will be created? When it will be created? So in the old days, it is just about the data type. Now it is not data type. You should explain what is hoisting, what is temporary dead zone, what is heap memory, what is constant pool, what is variable stack. These all things are supposed to be explained along with the variable. I want to speak only the depth. I am not interested on your laziness. To crack the interviews or to fulfill the interview needs, you have to work hard. If you don't know how to write for loop and while loop, I asked you to attend the classes in the evening. Okay, you need time for that. For the depth, my focus is completely on the depth. I am not worried about whether you are able to write the for loop or not. My focus is about in the interviews, are you able to crack it or not? I focus more on it. Especially those people are for loops and while loops and arrays. Yes, arrays also I will be teaching here. In-depth teaching, no question at all. But here I have to show different picture altogether. Because that depth is there. You can't learn JavaScript for 6 months. Are you getting me? So depth is important, flow is important. And you are completely new, come into the evening. That is very elaborated, slow-paced learning. But here in the morning, my goal is you should be in a position to develop mobile applications, web applications, server-side rendering applications, testable applications, portable applications with the deployment in this course, end to end. So that's what my challenge is. Ready? Chalo, see you tomorrow. About what?
One more question.
1 minute. Yeah. I'll come back to the Satish. How to link the web application, how to database. We just understood only first link. Second link is database. That is tomorrow. Yeah, Satish, go ahead.
Sir, there is a project tutorial, sir.
Hmm.
So separate front end, only front end project is different, sir, and both on back end and front end connected one project, sir.
See, that is what the morning batch is all about. It is complete MERN stack. Okay. End-to-end application development. You do get the questions without fail. Only React questions will not come. React as well as Node, Express, Mongo questions will also come. Okay. So I will be doing in the React also one project, but backend is not involved. After in that, I'm using a fake server called JSON server. By using the JSON server, I will develop a simple application in the ReactJS. Okay. So in the backend, I will also create the complete end-to-end APIs. And after that also, again, React with API integration will be taught. That is also a project. 2 projects will be completed in this course time. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, guys. That's it for today. See you tomorrow.